Hey guys, my name is Sarah Sloan, and you're listening to the Sarah Sloan Show. Pa, pa, pa. Sorry about that. I'm not normally into weapons, but sometimes the day is the day. Is the day, is the day, is the day, is the day. I hope you guys are doing well. Life for me has been crazy, but it's been so fun. I've really enjoyed it. Yeah, God does a lot of really cool things, and He really blesses me with amazing people around myself, surrounding me at all times. And I'm like, hey guys, get away from me, please. But no, it's really cool. It's really cool. Like, it's amazing how much people affect your life. I think that we often forget about that, but people really have a major part to play in how much you enjoy your life or not. It's kind of insane. Yeah, like the people I see at work, and their moods can affect you. It can bleed onto you a little bit. Yeah, if you get coffee with a friend, or if you go to get dinner with a friend, like that can really affect your mood and all that. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, like even sometimes I hate to say it, although I don't know if I hate to say it necessarily, but sometimes the highlight of my week can often be just time spent with certain people in my life that I really enjoy, that really give me life and fulfill me. So, yeah, life is good. Life is good. Went to New York. That was fun. I think, yeah, I'd only been to New York one other time, not counting airports. Okay. Yeah. It it was more the first time I went. It was much more that classic like Statue of Liberty, Empire State Building, all that kind of like touristy stuff. The Met, all the cool museums. This time it was more of a work trip. I've never actually taken a work trip that involved a flight. It is crazy. I had a job where it was college admissions, and so, but it was a community college, so it was much more local travel. So we would drive from, you know, different city to different city. I think the furthest I traveled for that was maybe like 2.5 hours. Oh, and I remember, oh my gosh, because you had to go into like high schools to recruit people to try to go to the school. And so you have to bring like pamphlets and all this stuff. And school security is always a nightmare to get in, which, yeah, it should be. It should be difficult to get into a school. I'll admit it. But sometimes it's annoying. Okay, whatever. I don't want to be inappropriate. And I would have to like carry like my backpack with all my supplies in it. I'd have to carry or have like a suitcase also of stuff, and then like huge boxes. And I remember one school I was walking in, and I was like and it was the parking lot like was full, and I was way far in a far away spot, and I was like carrying all this stuff walking in, just like sweating, and like seriously, like I had to stop several times. I know it sounds dramatic, but yeah, I just remember thinking like, I hate this job. I was like, I hate this. I don't want to do this anymore. Oh yeah, that reminds me also with that same job. It was one of the last times I was doing a recruiting job, and so sometimes you would have to stand in the cafeteria at a lunch table, and it's like it's already so embarrassing to just be at a table with all these students just looking at you, and they're not going to talk to you. And if they do, it's to either make fun of you or to flirt with you or just something weird like that. But this was embarrassing because it was the smallest lunchroom, cafeteria room, whatever you want to call it, like ever. Like other than like homeschoolers, like this was such a small room, and it was just so uncomfortable to just be like sitting in there, and they're so close. It was, oh my gosh. I remember really thinking that thought of like, I am so grateful I'm done with this job. I'm just so grateful. And it sucks because you're not really supposed to end a job like that. You're not supposed to end a job like just hating it, because I have a strong belief that that stuff bleeds into your next job. And so it's like, maybe it's like you hate your boss. Well, guess what? You can leave that job, but you'll find another version of that person in your next line of work. Like you can't control that kind of stuff. Like you have to almost like overcome that test. Like, okay, maybe the person was really passive aggressive and really nasty and put you down all the time. And you're like, oh my gosh, just get me in a different job that doesn't have this person. But then your next job, okay, it's not your boss that's like that, but it's a coworker that you have to work with all the time. Ugh. You should have passed that test in your last job. You should have learned to deal with that person, learn to get along with that person. So then you can kind of face that trial and then go into the next job in the clear. And then there's also an aspect of whenever you leave a job, closure, because I never really had like a service job growing up, but there was one job I had where I was doing academic advising, and it's not like it was a hard job. You sat all day, but it was like really mentally straining, and I hated it. Oh my gosh, I hated it. And I remember always fantasizing about my last appointment with a student and how I would feel going into that last appointment and getting that sense of closure. And then the funniest part is I never got that sense of closure because my last appointment with a student, I didn't know was my last appointment with a student. And it was an annoying meeting, but it was like, I didn't know. I still thought I was going to have like a full other week. And so I remember always being frustrated that I never got that sense of closure. Like, obviously I was glad to be done with that job and move on to the next one. But still, I never got that, which is kind of dumb, in retrospect. Yeah. And then you also just realize like, sometimes it's good to have a terrible job because then it helps you appreciate your next one more. And so, and then, yeah, it was so funny because I did another job. And I was just so like, this was like paradise. I remember they trained me for it. And I was like, is this it? This is all I have to do? And I was utterly shocked that it was so little work. And I was getting paid more. And I was like, there's no way I'm actually going to be paid more for this. Like, but I had a coworker. Who hated her job. And it was a similar job to mine. It was basically the same thing because, that's how coworkers work, right? And I was just so like, I was like, why are you so negative on this job? It's a great job. It's like the perfect job. But her worst job is her worst job. It's all your perspective, So it's just funny. It's just funny how that all turns out. It's funny, right? Laugh, right? You're going to laugh, right? Because it's funny, right? Yeah, this is like my stand-up, just dead silence. That's usually how it goes. That's not true. I'm being mean on myself. But yeah, it's so cool. Yeah, because now I feel like I have the best job I've ever had. It's such a cool job. It's like, it's so fun, and you learn something new every day, and you're literally working with professionals, and you're like at the forefront of innovation. It's cool. It's so cool. And I feel so humbled by the whole opportunity of like working for Kill Tony, because it's just like, what did I do to deserve it? I did nothing to deserve it. And it's just it's so gratifying. It's so awesome. And it's like, yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. And it's like, but I think it was good. I think it was all these past jobs that I've had. I needed to go through that. I needed to learn, and I needed to experience stuff and get smarter, get more patient. Yeah, and obviously this is not like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but ultimately I'm just so grateful for it. And it's like, yeah, I went to New York, got to experience what a full-fledged production is like. Like, it's insane. It's so, yeah, a few months ago I was like not doing anything like that. And now it's like my life has been radically changed. And yeah, I'm literally working for like one of the best shows on the planet. It's like, life is good. And I'm very, very, yeah, as you can see, I'm having trouble communicating it. It's funny, actually, as I was talking, I could see a notification, and it was somebody asking for something from me, and I'm getting kind of sick of it. Everybody, okay, so like for people that don't know the comedy world, everybody wants something. Everybody wants you to do something for them. They want you to give them something, and I don't really vibe with that. I think sometimes don't ask and you shall receive. Because there's an aspect in comedy where it's like you get on shows. There's open mics where you practice comedy, and then there's the aspect of shows. And unless you're running your own show, you're not going to get on a show. So you get booked onto a show. And then the majority of people, they ask to be on shows. They'll send their tapes around and all that kind of stuff. But I've kind of made a rule for myself that I will not ask to be on a show. And what that means is I don't get booked on many shows because of that. But the shows I get booked on, I really feel like they want me. And so it's cool in that way. So I really appreciate that. But yeah, it definitely means I get less stage time. But I can still do open mics and all that kind of stuff and practice comedy. And then comedy is so interesting because it's like you have different seasons of comedy. Like I remember whenever I first started, all my jokes were like longer bits and stories and all that kind of stuff. And as I've gone on, it seems like my stuff gets shorter and shorter and shorter. My jokes get shorter and shorter and shorter. And then it's like, but then it's interesting because as that happens, then if you have these jokes, you can kind of connect them. They're all about the same kind of a topic. Well, you can connect and weave them, and then it makes it a longer joke. So that's kind of cool. So it's very interesting. But it really is, it's a rewarding craft. Like it's super fun to think of a joke, try it out, and then it does well. And then of course, the majority of the time that doesn't happen. Maybe for some, not for me. It's very hit or miss, really hit or miss. Yeah, there was one I did at the Comedy Mothership open mic that I had made. And yeah, I tried out this joke. And I just didn't think anything of it. I was like, maybe people will like it. And it got this huge laugh. And it was really rewarding. And I was like so like happy with myself. I have since done that joke countless times in different places. And the reactions are always different. There's sometimes where there's no laughter. There's sometimes where people are like, oh, it's crazy how different audiences are. And maybe I'm delivering the joke slightly differently. I have maybe a different setup before that or whatever. Maybe my tone, I don't know. But it's just so insane how different groups of people can have different reactions to stuff. And it's like, that's not just stand-up comedy. That's also the case. Like if you go to a movie theater, that'd be a fun experiment to try. Go to a movie theater, watch a movie, and then go maybe a week later to that same movie theater and watch that same movie. And you're probably going to see and hear different reactions to that movie, So it's kind of interesting to think about that. It's not just comedy. It's everything. But then that's also kind of the nuance and trickiness of comedy. Because I always say, like, comedy is really hard, but then I hate to say that. I hate to say that comedy is hard because it's hard to be a firefighter. It's hard to be a police officer. It's hard to, there's some jobs that are like legitimately like actually hard or like dangerous, but comedy is more like tricky. It's a tricky thing. And so you'll see some people and they're professionals that have been doing it for 20 years and they don't make you laugh at all. Like, so it's a very tricky thing. And then also, the other frustrating part is you can tell your friends, like, I usually don't call myself a comedian because I'm not like, I haven't arrived, is how I see it. I'm an aspiring comedian. I call myself that, an aspiring comedian. But when you tell your friends that you do comedy, they expect you to be just as good as the professionals they see that have Netflix specials. It's totally unfair. That it's like saying I play soccer and then you think I'm going to be just as good as Messi. I think did I say a professional soccer player? Yeah, I think there's another one that's very, very famous. Cristiano Ronaldo. I think that's, yeah. I'm pretty good. I know my soccer. Um, but yeah, that would be like me saying I play soccer and you expect me to be just as good as them. Like, come on. I just said I play soccer. Like, chill out. But that's how this stuff is. And so, yeah, so then you invite your friend to a show, they watch you, and you don't do that well. Maybe there's been some times where I've brought friends and I've had a terrible night, or I've brought friends and I've had a great night. And it's tough. There's been some friends where the first time they watched me, I killed. The next time they watched me, I bombed. And it's so tough. And I'm 3 years in now, so. And yeah, it's a journey, but it's so worth it because I always think about this too. Like I can tend to be pretty lazy. I think a lot of us are, but I don't know. I'm pretty lazy, and but yet I'm willing to do so much for comedy. I'm willing to go out to places, when usually I probably would just rather stay in or do something else. So yeah, it's very interesting. Like that kind of shows me I am serious about it. And somebody told me that you should be a comedian whenever if you see somebody on stage, all you're thinking is that should be me on stage. Not in an unhealthy way, just that like I should be doing comedy right now because I love it. So yeah, so I think that's interesting as well. It doesn't lead into the next thing I wanted to talk about, but I went to Reddit and I wanted to do this because I don't know, it just seems kind of fun. I typed in on Reddit the best piece of advice, and I saw a few entries, and so I wanted to read it if that's okay. If it's not, I really don't know what to tell you if it's not, but please, please stay with me. This is a relationship right now. I love you, you love me, and we're a big fat PHAT family. Family PHAMILY. Is this a spelling bee? Because I just won. All right. Okay, so one piece of advice that I saw on Reddit. Your success in life is largely dependent on how many uncomfortable conversations you're willing to have. Isn't that crazy? I thought that was a really good piece of advice. Yeah, and I do notice like there is something in me that it's not like I want to have uncomfortable conversations because it's in the name. It's uncomfortable, but I do notice that I tend to just kind of go at it with the people that I care about / will have to deal with. Yeah, that's it. Basically, if I'm not willing to have a comfortable conversation with you, it probably means that I don't see you as worth my time or emotional investment, maybe is the right way to say it. I don't know. But it is good, and they don't always go well. There's a lot of times I have uncomfortable conversations with people and they actually go really south. But for the most part, they go well. And then it's almost like practice. But yeah, the fact that in the quote it says, your success in life is largely dependent on that is kind of crazy but if you think about it, typically when you're going for success, there's a lot of friction. You have to kind of overcome obstacles and go through trials and all this kind of stuff. Like it's not like you're just going to have an easy life and become a success. Like typically that's not how that works. Like most things that are rewarding in life require resistance and pain, friction, So, but if you think about it, those tough conversations, those uncomfortable conversations, it's about something important to you, valuable to you. So yeah, you really need that kind of stuff. And if you're not even willing to do that at all, you're probably not going to have success. So yeah, it's kind of interesting, but it's not always easy. And then I think it's also a cool thing. I think it's also a cool and valuable thing whenever you are an approachable person. Someone in a way, I kind of feel like I am approachable. People do tend to bring a lot of things my way. Just because I'm willing to actually listen and not shut them down. Versus there's so many people I've seen where you try to bring something up to them and they flip out. It's like, oh my gosh, chill out. Mamma mia. Where's my spaghetti? Yeah, I said what I said. Okay. Okay, so this is from Warren Buffett. You can always tell someone to go to hell tomorrow. So yeah, the point of that is like, if you have like an emotional thing that you want to say, you can always wait on it. You don't have to rush to say it. And I really have trouble with this one, like big time. There's like, usually it's like if something's on my mind, I just got to get it off my chest for the most part. And then sometimes it's not always the best time to do that. Or maybe I shouldn't even have said it in the first place. Maybe I should have just shut my mouth and not said anything. And it could, potentially like break up a relationship or something like that. So yeah, that I found that quote to be so good. Yeah, there, like it's almost the whole thing of like don't burn a bridge, all that. Yeah, you can always, it's always easy to push somebody away. It's hard to bring them close to you. It's hard to, like, I always think about this even like with any relationship or friendship or whatever. It takes so much work to get close to a person, it feels like. But then one wrong move and boom, they're gone. Like you can mess it up so easily, so quickly. So yeah, if it's something that, yeah, is like something that you want to be careful to, on whether or not you should say it, it's probably best to just wait. But then it's like, if you want to say it so bad, it's hard to wait. So that's why this is a hard quote to follow. But it is a correct quote. It's totally correct. Yeah, I said it. I've given that piece of advice to people because I haven't followed it myself sometimes. Because I'm a shoddy. Shoddy is an eeny, meeny, miny, mo lover. Okay, so let's see. There was another one. A master. Sorry, I don't know who to attribute the quote to. It was probably somebody like Oprah. A master has failed more times than a beginner has even tried. That, straight facts. Straight as an arrow. Yeah, it's like, I think oftentimes it really is that whole thing of the person who's willing to fail the most is the person who's going to have the most success. The person who's willing to put themselves out there in whatever it might be. But the person that plays it safe all the time, that's not so good. It's really not. It's really not good to play it so safe. And yeah, that's why, like, yeah, for me on a personal level, it's like, I was living in an East Texas town, small East Texas town, and I was working. I was living with my parents, paying very little rent. And, I wanted to move to Austin, but also that seemed a little daunting, the big city. And everybody has this whole idea of like, oh, Austin's so weird. Oh, Austin's so evil, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, is it a little? Yeah, it is a little. It's a little evil. But guess what? There's evil people everywhere, even in those small little towns. Sometimes there's even more of them. Just because they have a smile on their face and they have a southern accent doesn't mean that they're nice. Got it? Do we understand each other? So yeah, but it was very daunting for me to want to move out to Austin. There's some people I know, oh my gosh, they move everywhere. They've gone here, they've gone there, this country, that country. And it's like, it's no big deal for them. But for me, it was a big freaking deal. It was a huge deal to move to Austin. Oh my gosh, yeah. And, but if I hadn't have done it, what would I be doing right now? Like, it was obviously the right move. And for me, I really felt from God to do it. But I was also scared at the same time. And, but I know that I made the right choice. And it hasn't been easy or comfortable. It's been, in some ways, it's, this might be the hardest season of my life, which shows you I haven't had a hard life. But for real, in some ways, yeah, because it's like, I'm not here with my family, costs are high, but it's also worth it. It's so worth it. I'm like chasing my dreams and and seeing God's hand move. And I, at the end of the day, it's like I have a peace within myself that that I'm in God's will. So it's totally worth it. It's totally worth it. We'll stop there. Okay? We're going to stop there because that's enough. That's enough advice. Reddit don't play. Reddit is not that bad. I do think, like, in general, if you're on a website where people are anonymous and they could say whatever the freak they want, that's not always a good thing. Versus, like, on Instagram, people are going to be like maybe a little bit more guarded in what they say. They're going to be a little bit more respectful in what they say. So, but yeah, Reddit still has like so much valuable information. I think Serena Williams' husband is, I don't know if the CEO or the founder of Reddit or whatever, but let's just pray she doesn't hit her husband. I don't even know what joke I was going to say. But yeah, I think Serena Williams' husband founded Reddit. And I remember hearing a story about them one time where they were just like talking and they were like, you know what I'm in the mood for? Italian. And they get on like a private jet and they fly to Italy and they have Italian food. Now that sounds like a good time. That sounds really fun. Italian food is good. But the only thing with Italian food is it's just a bunch of dough that's like, cooked a certain way, shaped a certain way. And it's like, it is good, but it's like, I think sometimes it's maybe a little overhyped. The other type of food that I think is a little overhyped is like a lot of Chinese food, because I'm telling you, like, you can go to the freezer section of a lot of stores and get some really good Chinese food that tastes just like the majority of these restaurants that are charging you like triple the amount. And so it's like, it just doesn't feel very worth it versus like, I'm going to have trouble making, maybe like a gordita or like a taco or a burrito. Maybe I'll have a little bit more trouble making that. Maybe that's not a good example. Maybe, you know what? I'm running out of examples. Oh, sushi. Sushi, I would have trouble making at home. I don't know how to do it. Oh yeah, speaking of making something at home, normally I don't cook. I don't cook at all. I think it's a really bad trait of mine. It's just, it takes so much time to cook. And it's like, I don't want to spend a lot of time doing that. But I did make a couple smoothies, and it was like I got all these strawberries from Costco, and I just wasn't eating them fast enough. So I was like, let's make a freaking strawberry smoothie. And yeah, so I just put in a frozen banana, a bunch of strawberries, and some whole milk. And I called it a day. Even though it's not called a day, it's called a smoothie, a strawberry banana smoothie, but still. But yeah, it's crazy. I got this little blender. I'm not really one for kitchen appliances either. Like I really try to live a little bit more minimalistic. Like I love my Nespresso, but yeah, for the most part. Oh, and I got this like snow cone machine years ago. But yeah, that was a gift. So it's like, I'm not going to get rid of it. Oh, and I have this little mini waffle maker as well. Okay. Maybe I'm a liar. Maybe I do like all these things, but anyway, yeah, it's a nice appliance because it's so easy. You just put the cup on, you fill the cup up with whatever you want, then you just press the button. You have to hold on to the button while it blends, but it blends pretty quickly. And then, okay, so like, with smoothies, I notice it's not a strong, would you call it an engine? I don't even know what you would call it, but it can't handle crushing up like really, really hard items. And so what I do is I just put all these soft items in and then I just freeze the smoothie and it's all broken up. So then I'll just quickly, once it's all frozen, I'll just put it back on the blender, kind of crush things up again. And then it's like perfectly blended. I don't know. That's just my strategy, but I like it. But that's what I do, And I was proud of myself for actually making something for once, other than making trouble, What which is what I normally do. I normally be doing all that crap. I normally be doing the worst. I normally be, okay. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I went to New York. I tried a slice of like classic New York pizza at this one place. I think it was called like Joe's or something. And it was good. And maybe that wasn't a fair place to go to, but I was told like this is like your classic slice. This is your slice of pizza. And it was just good. Like I've had better pieces of pizza. Like maybe I'm partial to different types of pizza too. Like I even feel like technically I'd probably have more warm feelings toward even like a slice of Domino's, but call me crazy. But don't call me crazy, please, please. And then, okay, so then the other thing is everyone talks about the bagels, and I did actually get a bagel, and I just had, it was toasted with cream cheese on it. Now that, I don't know, it had crazy flavor, but I'm just like, it's a bagel. What is the big deal? Why? I've tried bagels from other places, like Einstein Bros bagels, but those don't hit the same. There's something about this New York bagel that it just slapped. It just slapped. I don't even know. I tried the garlic and I tried the everything. And it was just plain cream cheese. And it was just so good. But I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it once. I might even say it twice or 3 times. But man, those bagels, they get you constipated. Like I had trouble pooping for a while. And I'm taking my magnesium citrate. I'm doing what I need to do. I'm drinking tons of water. But man, sometimes I even wonder, like, there's sometimes where I'm too busy to work out, which I hate. In fact, I need to go soon so I can go to the gym before it closes. Remind me to do that, please, or I'm going to be upset if you don't remind me. But yeah, there's sometimes where I wonder, like, working out, is that like good? If you're constipated, like your body's just shaking. So it's almost like, shake that poo-poo out, shake that poo-poo out. I don't know. What do I know? Not a lot. But man, it's crazy. It's so crazy. Very, very good. Very good bagels, though. And yeah, it's like, Austin is a city. Austin has a downtown area. And I frequent the downtown area. And so then it's like New York City is like downtown. Like it's so much downtown area versus like here in Austin, like just drive 3 miles away and you can go to like a Walmart. So it's a completely different thing. And, the first day I was there in New York City, I was like, I like this. I think I could see myself living here. And I really felt that. And I felt it so strongly. And then I really dealt with the humidity. And it's already humid enough here in Texas. And I was just losing my mind with how humid it was. And I was like, no, never mind. I changed my mind. I don't want to live here. Because I was finna move. No, I'm kidding. Also, it's like, people can complain about the rent in Austin all day, but it's like, it's nothing compared to what it would have been in New York. Like New York is just, it's just crazy. And then it's like, yeah, good luck, like really being able to fully operate your car. Like, yeah, no. Versus I like that. I can have my car here. I can do whatever I need to do. I also like the fact that I can drive to my family if I want to see them and stuff like that. It's just better. It's just better over here. But yeah, like obviously if you like it, like good for you. And I get it. Honestly, I get it. It's lots of walking. Walking is very healthy for you. Can you imagine if walking was bad for you? Like, hey, don't walk. That really could hurt you. It'll make you fatter if you walk. The more you walk, the fatter you get. Like that would be insane. But yeah, it's not that way. There were more Starbucks there than I thought. It is kind of sad because it feels like, a lot of businesses during COVID, they had to shut down. And so it's like a lot of these small businesses were eradicated versus like all the big businesses were able to like just continue to grow, thrive, prosper. And so then it's like it takes away the individuality of like, I don't know, each street having these different little mom and pop shops. So it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad to me, but that is kind of what happens. But yeah, I would love to go back to New York and see it again and breathe that air, just breathe it for a while. But yeah, I want to hit a museum. I got to go to a Broadway show. That was really fun. That was really, really fun. And yeah, there's something about Broadway. And then I don't know about you. I don't know how you are. With any type of if I go to a movie theater or I go to a Broadway show or whatever the freak, I always leave very inspired. I'm very easily inspired. I think there's a lot of people like that. Gosh, I would watch you could. Oh gosh, I remember I was so inspired after Star Wars: The Force Awakens. I watched that and I was just obviously I knew I couldn't be like a Jedi, but I was just I want to be fierce and all this stuff. So stupid and lame. I would watch. Oh man, this was funny. I remember I hated dancing growing up. My parents made me take some dancing classes. And yeah, you could tell in the pictures, I hated it. But then I remember I was slightly older and my sister, who was very into dancing, she made us watch this movie. And I was so inspired by this movie that literally I was you know what? I think I do want to do dance. And it's look at me. I don't dance. That's not something I do. Other than the stanky leg, I don't dance. So yeah, that was kind of funny. But yeah, and then even oh my gosh, I think something with astronauts. I was oh my gosh, I want to be an astronaut. When in reality, science was one of my worst subjects. It was always weird with science in school. I remember chemistry was probably my worst. Physics, I was actually decent at. I don't know why. Yeah. But yeah, I hated science. I avoided it like the plague. Boring! Science! Hate you! Hey, science, you suck. Plus, what's the point of science when you have AI? AI. Yeah, I don't need science. What's the point of science? No, science is important. Also, make sure you get all your shots, okay? Everyone get your shots right now. Just let them inject you, okay? Let them go crazy on you, okay? Okay, I'm kidding. I don't get shots. I remember there was one time I got the flu, really bad. And I went to, I was working at the Texas Capitol at the time. And so then I go to the doctor and he's like, yeah, you have the flu. And he was like, did you get a flu shot? And I was like, no. It was so awkward. And he's just looking at me just okay. And I was like, yeah, I didn't get it. And have I gotten the flu since? It flew by me. The flu be fluing by me. I don't get the flu. The flu gets me. No, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want them putting stuff in me. Leave me alone. Don't put stuff in me. Seriously, stop. But then will you see me go eat some terrible fast food that's poisonous probably? Yeah. So do I make any sense? No. But that's life and you gotta have some fun from time to time. Otherwise, what are you living for? Ooh, I'm super pumped about this. I finally, after 10 years, I bought a laptop. I finally bought a laptop. Yeah, my MacBook Pro was just too old. It was just way too old. And I bought this keyboard cover case for my iPad. And so I was using an iPad trying to make it my main computer. And it just wasn't working. It wasn't working. I couldn't do it anymore. I was losing my mind. I was seriously losing my mind. And there's something about it. I think, it is very usable. Technically, I can do it. Technically, my iPad can be my main computer. But there's just some things that are just harder. And it's you feel so limited. I don't know how to explain it. I really don't. But it's there would be so many frustration points where I'm I feel I can't freely think using the computer this way. And it's crazy too, because it's touchscreen. I have an Apple Pencil. There's a lot of options. The trackpad is great on this keyboard case. But I'm telling you, I couldn't do it. It wasn't working. And I didn't want to fork over the money. I didn't want to do it. But, it's if you think about it, if if I could keep this last piece of junk that I had for 10 years, if I could keep that for 10 years, I can certainly keep this new one that I'm getting. It's coming in the mail. I can certainly keep that one for 10 years. And then it's like, you got to divide, if you know you're going to keep it for 10 years, and I take pretty good care of my stuff. You just divide that dollar amount for each year. Oh, I'm paying this much a year. Now I saved up for it, so I'm paying full price for it, or full cash for it, whatever. Because I know some people do payments on it, but I just don't like that. If I don't have the money for it, I don't want to do it. Some people, it's like they're making payments on like candy bars. It's like, stop. You look silly. Pay the dollar now. No, I'm kidding. But yeah. So then if you divide it out by, okay, I guess I'm going to pay this amount each year for this laptop, then it's like, yeah, that's pretty worth it. And then I always have the issue, this really kills me. Oh my gosh, it really actually frustrates me. I follow the tech rumors. Like, hey, someone leaked that they're going to come out with this new laptop at this time, and it's going to have this and this and this, and it's going to be amazing, like an OLED screen. It's going to be way faster, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, well, I just want to wait till that one comes out. And I kept saying that. But that's stupid. It's just, at the end of the day, it's a 10-year gap. My last laptop compared to what I'm about to get, it's going to be so much better. So one more year is not going to make a lot of difference. I don't really need an OLED screen. I'll be okay. My iPad has an OLED screen, and I think my phone has an OLED screen. OLED is really great. OLED is really nice. And it's like, but it's funny, even like my TV doesn't have an OLED screen, and I'm fine. So it's like, it doesn't actually matter. But then you just get these ideas in your head, and you're just like, no, I really want this. I really want that. And the thing that really sucked with my laptop was that Apple had not started using their processors to power their computers yet whenever I got mine. They didn't do that till 6 years later. And so it was an Intel chip, a processor. And man, slow. It's so slow. I was just trying to use it just to like do a basic web search. Oh my gosh, it took forever. And I just couldn't take it anymore. So I was just like, back to the iPad we go. Back we go. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of think I think if you're provided a computer for your job, I think you're fine, honestly, just using your iPad as your main computer. But if you're not provided a computer for your job, your iPad it's just not enough. You need something else. So yeah, and then the other part I'm excited about is you can use the iPad to connect to your laptop, and it can be a double screen. That's nice. I like that. That makes me happy. I'm happy now. Look at me. I'm happy. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I think that's all I wanted to talk about. Is that okay? Is it okay if one more thing. The Bible, if that's all right with you. Some people tell me that the second I mention the Bible, they click off this podcast. And I just want to ask you, what the freak is wrong with you? Who hurt you? Yeah, it's so funny. It's like so many people, they're like mad at God and they don't even believe in him. Make it make sense. No, God has changed my life. I know deep down I could be a very nasty, ugly person. And God's the only reason I'm not the nastiest and the ugliest. But my bad sides still show. And I don't like that. But, it is tough sometimes. But yeah, God really helps me. So I just 10 out of 10 recommend God. Okay, let's see. So the verse is going to be Psalm 40, verse 5. Many, O Lord my God, are the wonderful works which you have done, and your thoughts toward us. There is none to compare with you. If I would declare and speak of your wonders, they would be too many to count. That's pretty cool. I like that. So God does so many wonderful things for us that we're not even aware of. Yeah, a lot of people will just laugh at this whenever I say it, but that's okay. There was one time I was like driving and I don't even like remember doing it, but I like take a completely like wrong turn and like I go a completely different way. And I end up, getting to where I need to go. And I was like, whoa, what the heck? It was like, wow, oh, I just took this like completely wrong turn. Oh, wow. And I felt like deep down, like if you had gone on the original path, you could have gotten like a car wreck. I was like, whoa. Because it's so easy for us to die. Our lives can be lost in seconds. So I was like, wow, thank you, God. So, sorry, my original point, God. Okay. My original point is like, there's so many wonderful works that we're aware of that God has done for us. And then there's so many that we're not even aware of. And so I think that that's something I need to implement in my life again. I think I did it in the past, but just like thanking God for the things that I didn't even see him do. And then also, like, there's so many times where God's working and we don't even see that he's working. Yeah, like there's like I have a really special friend in my life, and I've only known this friend for like a certain amount of months. I didn't know this friend, and I was like praying for a friend like that I could be really close to, and how many months was I praying that nothing was happening, but God was working. So it's like there's so many things like that. Like, yeah, there was so many yeah, like whenever I got on Kill Tony, like I was praying to get on Kill Tony and I was praying that it would go well and all this kind of stuff. And like, how many times did I have to sign up and wait there and not get on? And it sucked and I was so upset. And, but God was working. And so it was good. It was good. So, but yeah. And then, okay, the other part is, and yeah, your thoughts toward us. Yeah, I think we really like, we're so, we can be so in tune, like how much thoughts mean. Like whenever a friend says to me like, oh, I've been thinking about you. Oh, like that means so much to me. I don't even know why. Like, why does that even mean anything to me? Like, oh, you were thinking about me. Oh, but it makes me feel so special and loved and cherished. And God is thinking about us constantly. And he has so many thoughts about us that are wonderful and unique to us. It's not like, I think positive thoughts of you. No, it's like specific. Like, I'm thinking about you, Sarah, and just how kind you are and how loving you are. And I'm thinking about how you're very kind of quirky and weird and awkward, but how it really is a good trait about you and it makes you unique. I don't know. Like, it's just like he's thinking so many things about us. And it's the creator of the universe. It's an honor. So yeah, if I would declare and speak of your wonders, there would be too many to count. That's the truth. But we should still try to speak of the wonders, try to boast in the Lord and all of the things that he's done for us. Try, because it's a good thing. Because if you're thinking about the good things that he's done for you, that's a form of gratitude. That's a good thing to do. Instead of just, dwelling on things that you have anxiety over, that you're nervous about. Yeah, like that's not a healthy way to live. Yeah, worrying is a form of pride, because when you are sitting there worrying about something, you're literally thinking that you can create the solution to this problem. When in reality, if you could, you would have already done it. So it's obvious if you're so worried about it, you probably can't. And that's whenever you appeal to God and you ask him to help you, and he will. I promise. And it may not be the way you think he's going to answer your prayer, but he will answer it. So yeah. I read that verse, and I really liked it. That amplified version hits. The amplified version of the Bible be hitting. My stomach is rumbling. I'm hungry, and I don't think I've eaten all day, and it's nighttime now. Sometimes you get so freaking busy, and it's like you don't even eat. And then I think I've been on the phone for definitely over 3 hours today. Definitely over 3 hours today. And whenever you're just talking on the phone, you're not eating, and you don't think to eat. Because if you're going to eat on the phone, that's so like weird. You're just like, yeah, hey, yeah, my day's pretty good. And like, obviously I'm not going to eat while being on this podcast. Like, this isn't ASMR. If you want that, type down in the comments. But Okay, no, I'm kidding. But yeah, this isn't ASMR. I'm not doing that yet. Maybe soon. Maybe I could do it soon. Maybe we could do some. Okay. No, I don't want to do ASMR. I'm kidding. I do like ASMR sometimes. But then I was like, I was worried. I was like falling asleep to ASMR. And then I was like, oh no, I don't want to become reliant on ASMR in order to fall asleep. I should just be able to actually fall asleep. What was the original point that I was making? I actually don't remember. It's so crazy. I don't remember the original point I was making. I'm embarrassed about that. That's not a good thing. That shows that like I'm not like mentally strong, and that's not good. Maybe I need to do more sauna. I do like sauna. I need to do more sauna. That would be good. That would be good. Also, I don't think you guys realize, like whenever you have to do podcasts, you don't want like background noises. So like you have to turn the AC off, and then like it's really hot here in Texas. So this girl will be sweating. But yeah, okay. I have talked for a long time. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys for being wonderful. Just remember, Jesus loves you, and so do I. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great week. Goodbye.